Hi guys, my name is Jessica. Welcome back to my channel. I'm really glad you're here. The first thing that I want to do today is it's sort of a book haul slash unboxing. I had a box show up on my front doorstep today that has my latest book outlet haul in it, and I have actually kind of forgotten what I've ordered, but it's a lot. I actually have a couple more boxes on the way, so I may be splitting this up into two separate videos because I have a little bit of a problem with buying way too many books. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get to the unboxing, but and hopefully as we go through and I kind of tell you a little bit about the books that I selected and a little bit about them, you'll get to know a little bit more about me and my favorite genres and kind of my styles and tastes. I am still going to be doing an introductory video a little bit later on this week, but given the books the boxes that I should be getting fairly soon, it may have to come after all of these things are delivered. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get into the books. Also, before I start on that, actually, if you are not familiar with bookoutlet.com, I recommend that you get familiar with them very quickly. They have amazing prices on books. They have scratch and dent sales where you can get a hardcover, fairly good, like new release book for like $1.50. And the damage that is usually on there, to me, is minor. Like, I'm very picky about my books. I like them to be in like good condition. I don't like to have major damage or anything. And so when I tried to get a couple of the scratch and dent items, I was really nervous because you don't know what it's going to look like when you get there, and the way the conditional thing is on the website, like I was afraid it was going to be just like trashed. But no, I think on one it was like a little teeny tiny tear in the front of the dust jacket. And then on another one, it was a paperback, and it was like the very front corner of the cover was a little bit bent. And that was really it. That was all the damage that I could find. And then I guess because some of them are like overstock and they keep track of their inventory this way and stuff, some of them do have like a black marker dot on the bottom of the pages. I'll kind of show you as we go if I find one. But that's really like the only damage. Like if they're on the bookcase, you're not even going to notice it. So really awesome prices. And even the ones that are not scratch and dent are awesome prices. Like I think I get hardcovers usually anywhere from like $2.50-ish to about $4.99, $5.99 maybe. Shipping's pretty reasonable. The only negative drawback about Book Outlet is that it's very much what they have in stock at the time they have it in stock, and they get limited quantities. So, if you go on, they have a pretty good selection though. So, I mean, if you go on and you search for a book, they're probably going to have it. If they don't, or if let's say that they have one in stock, but they only have a couple in stock and you don't have the money right then and there, but you really want it, you can put it on your wish list and they will send you an email alert when they get more of that book in stock. You can always check it out later. So I found some really awesome bargains there. So I definitely recommend that you check them out. And, and this is not, they aren't giving me anything in exchange for this. They don't know who I am. I'm just a random person. I just like ordering from there. So, and I've never really had any problems with my orders. I can't think of anything that I've had a problem with. So, I haven't had to deal with their customer service, but it's because I've never had a problem with anything. So anyway, let's get into the box. So this is the box. It's pretty big, as you can see. And, I don't even remember what all I ordered. So let's dig in here. Got my scissors. Hopefully I won't draw blood. Hopefully I won't damage any of the books as I try to open this box. I just love that sound because it means I'm about to open some books. So, Book Outlet, you get your lovely wrapping paper, brown paper bag stuff to pack it in. There's a lot of it in here. And still more. And more. If you can, try to recycle that stuff because there's a lot in there. And more. Look. Okay. So, this box, now that I'm looking in here, is kind of really a hodgepodge. Like, I was going through I was in this mood where I really wanted some YA stuff and some fantasy stuff, but I also was kind of looking for some like middle school stuff for like recommending to some of my family members and my class at school, because I'm a middle school teacher, if I haven't told you that. And so there's a couple of random things like middle school, and then there's some like contemporary adult books, and then there's some YA fantasy. So this is kind of a hodgepodge. So, but I mean, really, that's kind of my taste in books. Like, I'm all over the place. So anyway, the first book here, which I'm really looking forward to reading, is Novice, and this is book 1 of the Summoner series. It's by Taryn Matharu, I believe that's how you say it. But it looks really interesting. It's kind of a high fantasy, young adult, but also sort of urban fantasy. It's kind of, but it's more, I guess, more high fantasy because it's not necessarily set in like contemporary urban setting, like urban fantasy would be. But it's about this boy can summon demons, and it has to do with like battle magic and all sorts of things. So it looks really interesting. So I'm actually really looking forward to reading that. And again, I think this one was like $3.99, and it's for a hardcover. And yeah, there's the little dot that I mentioned right there, and that's the only thing that would be wrong with it. So anyway, the next one this is more of an adult contemporary. Debbie Makemer, I'm not sure 100% how to say her name, but she's written the like Mr. Miracle and Mrs. Miracle series. They have on the Hallmark Channel, if you ever watch those at Christmas time. She's extremely prolific, and I just really like her style. My grandmother really likes her too, so she kind of appeals to multiple generations, and they're primarily kind of sweet small town romances. And she also wrote, I want to say it was maybe the Cedar Cove series, and this might actually be part of the Cedar Cove series. I don't even know. But this is called Last One Home by Debbie Makemer, and the Cedar Cove series, I believe, was turned into a TV series on the Hallmark Channel. So that's what this one is. And then I've got another one. This is another Debbie Makemer, and it is Love Letters, and this is a Rose Harbor novel. So yeah, it says best-selling author of Cedar Cove series. So she was the author of that one that was made into a TV series for Hallmark Channel. And this is a Rose Harbor novel, so it's, again, kind of small town romance type of thing. This one I'm super excited about. It is Heir of Fire, which is a Throne of Glass novel. I want to say it's number 3 in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. And I've just started reading book 1, and I'm only like halfway through it, but I love it. Like, it's drawing me in, and I want to continue reading it. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and try and get all of the books in the series so that I can like binge on it once I finish this. So I'm hoping to get this I believe is the 3rd one, and then there's number 4 I think is coming in one of my other book outlet orders, and then I need to get my hands on number 2, and the number 1 book that I'm reading is actually from the library, and I've decided I need to own that one too. So I actually need to purchase books 1 and 2, but this is, I believe, 3, and then I have book 4 on the way. So, but it's a hardcover, and look, it's just got this little dot on here, and it was hardcover, and I think it was $6.99, and it's normally $18.99. So I think that's a pretty good bargain. And then let's see here. What else do I got? Oh, I have another Debbie Makemer book. This one is another Rose Harbor novel. This is called Silver Linings. So I'm going to be reading that. I know, I'm kind of binging on the Debbie Maycomer, but they had a bunch of the hardcovers on sale, so I was like, yes, I'm going to get them all. This one is Jill Shalvis. It's called Still the One. And again, this is kind of a sweet contemporary romance, small town kind of thing. And I really love that kind of thing. I'm a sucker for a happily ever after. I admit it. All right, I have yet another Debbie Maycomer. This is Rose Harbor in Bloom. And so another Rose Harbor book. And let's see here. I have, I'm kind of bummed about this just because I had to get one in hardcover and one in paperback. And I hate getting different formats for books, but it's just what they had available on Book Outlet, so I'm going to have to live with it because I really wanted to get these books, and this was the only way they had it available. So anyway, the first is The Kiss of Deception. It's The Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. And then I also got, and this is the paperback version, and then I also got the hardcover of the sequel, which is The Heart of Betrayal. So these look really interesting. I've heard a lot about them, and I decided I really wanted to read them. Again, I think these are your more fantasy YA type books. And then I've got, these are like the middle school books that I was looking at. I don't know exactly what order they come in, but I kind of got these not only for me to read, but also I have an 11-year-old niece. Well, she's actually like my cousin, like my first cousin once removed technically, but I call her my niece. Like, we're really close. She actually just lives around the block from me. And so I got a bunch of the Pandora series. So these are middle school books that are kind of along the lines of like the Rick Riordan books. They feature Pandora, who is in the very first book, I know she opens the box, of course, and lets like all of these bad things out. And then the rest of the book series is basically she's been assigned to go out into the world and try to track down each of these negative things that she has released into the world. So I know the first one, I believe, was Pandora Gets Jealous. And then this one is Pandora Gets Frightened. And then this one is Pandora Gets Greedy. And this is Pandora Gets Angry. And this one is Pandora Gets Lazy. And they're all by Carolyn Hennessy. And basically they're all based on the mythology around Pandora. And her going on these quests to get all of these things that she has released out into the world back. And let's see, we've got, this is another Jill Shalvis book. It's called Lucky Harbor. And this is actually a compilation book. It's 3 books. I believe it's the first 3 books in the Lucky Harbor series that are all compiled into one big book. So I believe it's called Lucky in Love, At Last, and Forever in a Day are the names of the 3 novels that are collected into this one. And then, let's see, we've got Marie Lu, The Young Elites. So this is another young adult fantasy that I'm really looking forward to reading. I've heard a lot about them, and I don't really know like a lot about what they're about, but I know like her Legend series got a lot of positive feedback, so I'm hoping to experience that same with The Young Elites. And then the final book in here, and this is more of a travel memoir. This is I'm Off Then, Losing and Finding Myself on the Camino de Santiago. And I love travel memoirs. I'm an armchair traveler. I want to be not so much an armchair traveler, but an actual traveler. But when the finances are prohibiting the actual traveler, I like to read about other people's travel experiences. And so this is by, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. I think it's Hapikirkeling. It says translated by Shelley Frisch, and it's the Camino de Santiago is it's like a pilgrimage walk from France into, I believe, Spain along the Pyrenees, I believe, and you end up it's a very like Catholic, well-known Catholic pilgrimage kind of thing. And I believe you end up at like the Cathedral of St. John. And if you've ever seen the movie The Way with Martin Sheen, that was kind of based on this. And so this is the memoirs of somebody who went off on this walk. And this is my dog Cody, who is infiltrating my video right now. He's a miniature schnauzer. He apparently thinks it's weird that I'm talking to people who aren't actually there. But I know you're there. Anyway. So all right, that is my first book outlet box, and hopefully it will be the first of many, because I really enjoy opening them up and unveiling what's inside. And I think my next one actually is primarily young adult books. This one had a little bit more of a mix, but my next one is very much young adult centered. So I look forward to seeing you in that one, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy reading!